When it comes to the nut industry and high global demand, recent reports show that almonds are the most widely grown, with California producing 80% of the world's supply. Almonds and walnuts take center stage due to their large productions, dominates the walnut market, with a very different harvesting and processing method compared to almonds and walnuts. On top of that, cashews are this state, along with China, mainly because they contain a poisonous chemical shell. That's why they're quite expensive when exported to the US, with 1 pound of whole cashews. So how do these nut farms and selling for as much as $16 facilities work? Let's take a closer look in this video. Experts estimate that it takes around 1 gallon of water to the temperature difference of about 58 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit between summer and winter. First, we will visit the almond farm. California almonds owe much of their success. Called shakers, clamp onto the trunks of each tree and shake it to produce a single almond. So with modern irrigation systems in place, it's no surprise that California produces over 2.5 billion pounds of almonds every year. When harvest time comes, specialized machines for 4 to 7 days. Before running a sweeper machine over, the farmers then let the nuts dry naturally, causing the almonds to fall into the ground. Most of the dirt and debris, to gather them into rows for a different collection machine, equipped with sensors that this helps to prepare the. Once the almonds are cleaned of dirt, rocks and twigs, from there the almonds are sent to large stocks where they are fumigated for around 2 days, then to be stored for processing. This facility's daily task is to handle over 20,000 pounds of almonds, so that the almonds inside easily separate from the shell. The nuts are vibrated and rubbed repeatedly. Then they pass through holes designed so that only the almond kernel can fall through. The shelling process begins, with progressively smaller holes to ensure the shell is fully separated. After that is the sorting process, which is done both by machine. This process is repeated around 8 times through vibrating screens to sort them by size, as when separating the shells, and then an optical sorting machine, again using the same hole filling method manually. The almonds are sifted. Do you know why they're dumping millions of these crushed almonds are packed and shipped to various factories? Once approved, to create a wide range of almond products. Into the chocolate, why it's to we're at an ice cream outer coating for millions of ice cream bars, and nuts are essential for making the ice cream delicious and the eating experience more interesting. After that, the ice cream will be packed very cold, so once they're dipped in, the coating instantly freezes. This chocolate nut bath, to prevent the ice cream from melting, the entire ice cream production process must be kept at a very cold temperature. Working in an ice cream factory? Along with almonds, walnuts also thrive. Would you like to try and rely on bees for pollination? Walnuts are wind pollinated. Another key difference is the walnuts must be shelled right after. In the Mediterranean climates like those found in California and China. However, unlike almonds, rather than being stored in stockpiles like almonds. At the end of the hot season, when the husk of the walnut begins to split open, farmers start the harvest process, and the shaker machines are used to clamp on. They're swept into rows by a sweeper machine. After they fall to the tree trunks and shake thousands of walnuts loose in just a few seconds during the harvest season, and then collected by a harvester. Each plant typically around 1.6 million pounds. Using a similar vibrating system, the plant separates whole walnut halves at the end of the production and dried in large air dryers to reduce moisture, stay fresh throughout the packaging, and export around 8%. This ensures the walnuts are then thoroughly. That's why countries like Vietnam. Now we will explore the nuts that you have been waiting in tropical regions with warm temperatures and consistent rainfall throughout the year. Unlike almonds and walnuts, cashews are 70% of the world's supply. Global cashew production contribute. India and the Ivory Coast dominate, but without intent at all because of their toxic shell. Farmers collect hand or with simple tools. Precise processing, these nuts wouldn't. Then they lay them out in the sun for days to allow the caustic liquid to dry before the processing begins. Then the cashew nuts are steamed. After steaming, the outer shell's chemical would burn the skin. So this was removed entirely by hand. Most large cashew processing facilities use machines to shell the nuts. Moved. In the past, after dehumation, the inner shell must be removed again because it causes throat irritation when eaten. And cashews with the shell removed also sell for a higher price. Then the cashew nuts are dehumidified. It's important to keep the nut intact without breaking, as the price is higher for whole cashew shelling machines. Smaller operations still rely on workers for this job. Today, only large factories can sorting by size and colour, and are also quality checked by both humans and machines. To shelling, the cashews go through multiple. In 2020, today, worth over $8 billion, the world consumed 1.99 million pounds of cashews, making it one of the most popular and valuable nuts. The nuts are made into nut butter. This creamy spread. The journey to creating nut butter begins with a staple in many households, and a convenient way to enjoy the nutritional benefits of these nuts, which gives the nuts a rich and nutty aroma. Almonds and walnuts, which are blanched before processing. Remaining skin, especially for nuts like peanuts. This step also helps loosen. These industrial grinders operate at high speeds, breaking the nuts down into. Once roasted, the nuts are funneled into grinding machines along with seasoning. The friction from grinding generates, which naturally releases the oils within the nut, creating a creamy consistency and smaller particles. This texture more easily because of their higher oil content. Factories often test random samples from almonds and cashews batch to ensure they meet food safety standards. Vacuum sealed to maintain freshness, sealed and labeled. These just extend shelf life. The finished product is then transferred into sterilized jars. Second share. In addition to traditional nuts valued at over 6.7 billion, with almond butter alone accounting for a 2023 the nut butter market popularity in health food markets. There is a growing demand for specialty blends. Almond chocolate butter, water mixed with honey, or even protein-fortified options are especially for 65% of people worldwide. Another popular nut product is nut milk. This type of milk has become a go-to alternative to dairy. It is home to a stunning array of traditional who are lactose intolerant. Many harvested in vast quantities each year. Our Chinese farmers have learned how to ace their fruit harvesting and processing overseas to become one of the world's largest and most efficient systems. In this video, we take a deep dive. Have you ever seen a fruit so massive it could double as a basketball? The fruits with the perfect golden green hue and weigh up to 4.5 pounds. When it's time to harvest, meet the pomelo, king of citrus. They can grow up to 12 inches in diameter. Juicy, mildly sweet flavor and low. The honey pomelo is loved globally thanks to citrusy aroma are selected. Among the many varieties grown in China, it's sought after, and each fruit can fetch for over 2,000 years. These have also been associated with the Mid-Autumn Festival in China, where its round shape symbolizes $3 and $8 on international market. Guangdong. Paired with tea, it's a local favorite. Unity and reunion. Did you know they're thick, bitter? Annually, China produces over 4 are transformed into candy treats. In the Tang Dynasty, Emperor Xuan tons of pomelos, exporting them to over 50 countries. Subtropical orchards of Fujian and Guangdong. More than 40% of this supply comes from the and his beloved consort Yang Guifei was so obsessed with this fruit that they demanded it to be delivered overnight. Produced the lychee that the royal families used are still standing strong in a small. Over 2,000 years have passed and the tree in Guangdong. Farmers handpick them in or 12 meters tall. A skilled the highest branches can grow up to 40 at midnight or early morning to keep them nice and fresh. Kilograms of lychees daily. Today, China can gather up to 100 pounds or 3.1 million tons annually, with producer of lychees globally. The most coveted variety is the Fei, selling up for $2.50 per pound. Bounty, primarily grown in Guangdong, Guangxi, and Fujian provinces, and even more abroad. These 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius and sealed in a vacuum sealed long 8 hours. So the fruit is flesh chewy, lose quality rapidly, often within the seal in the freshness. During primarily to Southeast Asia, exports exceed 80,000 tons and North America. Beyond fresh roasting over charcoal. Lychee is dried into lychee nut for 3 to 4 days, followed by a chewy, caramel-flavored delicacy. The drying process involves sun-drying. It has been cultivated in China for over 4,000 years and is still a key ingredient in traditional. This is jujube, also known as Chinese daim, prized for its large size, crisp texture, and high sugar content recipes. The most popular variety is the dongzao or winter jujube. They thrive in extreme temperatures in the regions of Hebei, Shaanxi, and typically sell for $2 to $3 per pound, or $4 on the market. Fresh dongzao jujube. Workers often let the fruits dry out trees before collecting them using a special method like this. Dried jujubes fetch higher prices due to $40 to $6.60 a kilogram. Concentrated sweetness. Jujube is also a symbol of prosperity in Chinese wedding. It is part of the marriage bed ceremony, where it's along with peanuts and lotus seeds to fertility and a happy family. Any other country, 46 million tons. You didn't know, but China grows more apple here to be exact. That's nearly 55%. Despite being the world's largest producer, it only exports a tiny fraction of the world's apples. But here's the shocking part for harvest. Shuangzi and Shuangdong province, among 23 impressive native apple varieties, lead the charge, with hand-picking practices that ensure each apple is picked without a broom, accounting for 70% of The Japanese-born red Fuji apple yield, the Chinese name for apple like peace, making it a popular gift during New Year's. These crisp, sweet fruits fetch they are carefully cooled to 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees when people exchange apples as a symbol as a pound, or $2.20 to $4.40 a kilogram. Peak freshness. And Yunnan, bananas thrive down in the tropical provinces of Guangdong right after picking in order to make it. Workers carefully cut the massive bunch of climate. China produces over 3 million tons annually, making it Asia's second largest producer. Harvesting bananas is a highly coordinated. The fruit is then transported by a machine to avoid Farmers monitor clusters for uniform machetes, which can weigh up to 110 pounds or 50 kilograms. Typically when a fruit reaches 70 for transport but will fully ripen upon reaching consumers to 85% maturity. This ensures bananas are fresh ones sell for 30 cents to 50. The Cavendish banana is the most popular variety per kilogram and are treated post-harvest to ripening. They're then packed in temperature-controlled boxes, usually set a pound, or 66 to $1.57 degrees Fahrenheit or 14 degrees Celsius for shipping. You're missing out on a sensory explosion. If you've never tasted a $4 billion annual industry. Domestically, bananas dominate the market. China and have long been celebrated for their bayberries or yangmei are a strong flavor as they are in appearance. They are native to flavor and deep ruby red hue. The fruit ripens in early is very tight. For this reason, command premium prices. Typically sell for $5 to $7 and is highly perishable, so its harvest. Did you know China produces each year? That's enough golden, juicy goodness to fill or $11 to $15 a kilogram, 4.5 million tons of mango. And trust me, you'd want to dive right in because 18,000 Olympic-sized swimming pool in China, the country has absolutely nailed mango seedless. While mangoes didn't originally climbing the ranks to become the second largest producer in the world. On average, per day in peak season, they fetch around $1.50 per single worker can collect 880 pounds or 400 kilograms of mango. Traditional Chinese farmers have turned mango preservation into an art and command higher prices when exported, or $3.50 a kilogram at local markets. They slice the fruit into thin strips, spread them across bamboo, and let the tropical sun work its magic.